how about that car wash that you texted me last night? Is that something to talk about? Have you looked into it, like what his salary is, what, what he's
No, no, I'm gonna get that stuff, but I just thought 10 times was a little absurd, so I didn't dig that deep. But what do you think? Do you think 10 times these
what's
days?
is it North Jersey or is it where, like, you don't say exactly, but where central, north, south?
I would say like central-ish.
How big of a lot?
I didn't get that deep with them. Like I said, I just thought 10 times was
It's 10 times. The real estate has to be like really prime. The appreciation value is higher than other car washes. So I guess we got to look into the real estate. We got to really, before, he does 1.8 million. I don't see how it can net 800. It's very tough to, as a full service to have that type of, EBITDA. I
Mm.
think 10 times is high.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought, and I remember that deal that you had, and how's the traction been on that one?
It's too rich. People don't want to wait 10 years to make their money back. If it was a 7-time multiple, then it's a real deal. A 10-time multiple, unless he's going to do crazy seller financing where he's going to hold a lot of money and the cash on cash is higher, then it can make sense. But just a straight 10x is I think you should definitely look into it more and
What
guide
do you
him on.
think? What do you, off the top of your head, what would you say for a car wash, full service property, this type of net? Like, what would you say? Would you say like a seven? Would you say like
7.
a seven?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I told him between 7 and 8 is really realistic, more
If he
realistic.
wants a 9 or 10, he's got to be the bank, and we have to get creative with the interest and the number of years that we amortize it over. If he wants that 9 or 10, price terms. If he wants his price, it's our terms. We get him our price, it's his terms. That's how I
Right,
would.
right, right, right. Absolutely.
It's like a similar situation that I'm dealing with. The owner wants crazy multiple. He nets 600, 650, and he wants 3.5. So it's not with the property. So he's asking a
Oh,
6x. He's not negotiable on that. So I'm trying to let him know I need the note payment to be 200,000. So after the note, I'm still making 400,000 after everything, and I'm making the money back in 3 years on the down payment. And then I'll pay his crazy multiple. But it makes sense from my point and it makes sense from his point at that standpoint. But if he doesn't finance, no one's going to buy an all cash 10x Jersey car wash. It's impossible.
yeah, yeah. All right. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I'll dig into it. I agree. I don't think 10x is like, I don't think car washes really t warrant 10x anymore.
Unless you have a $10 million EBITDA and then you can sell all of them in a package with 10 million EBITDA, then you can get 10x.
I agree. Okay, thank you.
I have a couple of updates too. I've had this deal for a while. Very good relationship of mine. This guy owns 2 car washes in South Jersey. One location he's owned for 10 years. He does in that location almost $2 million a year in gross with a net of about 750,000. And then 5 miles away, he opened up a new car wash last year, full service, beautiful, same exact size and tunnel, same thing as the other one. I was able to structure the deal. We're asking 4.9. He'll hold the note if someone comes. So we're asking a 5x. Someone comes up with 2 million down. He'll hold the $3 million note over 10 to 15 years at 6%. So he's very creative on the financing. He'll give 30-year leases on both locations. He only wants to sell both locations together. He doesn't want to split it up. And it's a great deal.
That's similar to the similar numbers to the ones that I talked to you about just recently.
Well, this is the business side. We're asking, we can get this done in a 4.6x.
Hmm.
So it's very real. It's a real deal with financing, with 2 million down, with great terms, 10 to 15 years, 6 to 6.5%.
Yeah, I want to ask you on this deal. I know this deal has been in process for a while. I know he was originally like very unrealistic. What did you learn on this? Like, and what would you do differently if you get
So
another
happy
situation with
you
a seller
asked
like
this.
this?
No, yeah, I'm so happy you asked this because this is a perfect example. I started working on this deal in 2000, no, 2021. So it's 3 years on this deal. I've driven to South Jersey, which is about 2 hours. And this is mistakes that I've made. I want everyone to learn from these mistakes. I've driven from Long Island to South Jersey, 2 hours each way, probably 30 times. So I spent 4 hours. So I spent 120 hours driving to this location, which is
The
what,
side of business brokering. That's
five
the
days,
the
five
real.
days of my life on the road, going back and forth here, which I could have done Zoom calls. Then what happened was, and originally he was like Christian said, he was way unrealistic. He wanted a crazy number for the properties and the businesses. I've gotten him multiple buyers. Every single time I got him a buyer, he backed out of the deal. I got him $11 million for both locations and properties and businesses. We got it into a hard contract with $600,000 down. Right before we're closing, though, 2 weeks before, he calls me and says he doesn't want to sell the properties. Cancel the contract, gave the money back. I went down there one more time. I went into his face. I'm like, listen, you wasted a lot of my time, my contacts. You made me look bad. I need you to sign an exclusive. You can never work with another broker. It's only me. And I'm gonna put in the contract. If I get you the number and you don't take it, you still have to pay the commission no matter what. That's the only way I'll work with you. And he said, yeah. So that's why you got to be a little stern with these sellers. You have to act like, which you do if you're experienced, like this is your arena. Like when people talk to me about, oh, I can get a 6X, a 7X, an 8X, a 10X, you can get what I tell you can get. There's no one who sells more businesses than guys like me, Christian, Mark, all the seasoned guys on the team. We control the market. So you got to, if you're a new broker, you got to kind of act like that too. And that confidence is going to help you get more listings, and it's going to help you deal with buyers and deal with sellers. So to answer your question, Christian, I learned from this, don't keep giving in. If sellers ask you to meet them 2 hours away, don't give in every time. Have Zoom calls. Make sure your time is valued the way it should be. I also learned if the guy is unrealistic, tell him up front. It's better to have that conversation and not waste time. And I also learned it's so important to lock people up with exclusives if you could, because you could put all this work into something and then he could decide he doesn't want to sell or sell to someone else. Yeah, price it right. You got to price the deal right. So
Would you say it's almost better to not take it 2 years, 3 years ago at the crazy terms, or would you take it? I mean, and just kind of wait till he gets realistic, or would you, at this point in your career, would you prefer to just not take it and just say, look, this is the realistic price. When you're ready, get back to me?
at this point in my career, I would probably still take it, but I would let him know it's going to sell at this number. And if you don't want to do it, we could start a little higher. But if, I'm letting you know if it doesn't, I'm not going to be working on it full time unless you're ready to take it at this number. Like for an example, this deal, I took it. I knew it wasn't going to sell in the beginning, but I'm not going to get fatigued because that's who I am. I just keep going, pounding the pavement, but I'm not working smart that way. But if I were to look back, I would still take it, but I wouldn't meet him every time. I would do Zoom calls and I would just allocate my time differently. It's that good of a property. It's that good of a car wash. I still want to keep it in my control, but I got to use my time better. So it's a difficult answer that I'm giving you, but I would still take it, but I wouldn't spend all my time on it
Got it.
because I'm going to sell it. And you know what? It's still a $200,000 commission. I'm not going to go there 10 times. I'm going to go there once or twice and just use my time much smarter.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've been kind of denying a lot of stuff if it's not realistic because I kind of want to avoid that. I mean, I think it's just preference.
It's also the owner too, right? Like if you're dealing with an owner that you don't like I want to take it. Like if this guy is someone I don't like, I'm not going to take it. I actually find a liking to this guy. That's another huge component to this business. It's a relationship business. So I'm sure you can relate, Christian.
Yeah, no, certain guys is definitely worth it. It's just time is really everything in this game. And the guy is super, like this guy, for example, this car wash guy that I'm working with. I think I'm gonna just kind of just play a little bit of a hardball with him and just say, I know you want 10, but we're just gonna sit on the market. We're gonna waste time. I'm just trying to pick and choose my battles a little better. So I think I probably won't take it unless he's around that at an 8X. I think a 10X, like I'm not gonna take the listing, but I will follow up like 20, 30 times, like throughout the next year or two, just really consistently follow up with him, check in. Hey, how's everything? Hey, we just got this car wash, 5 million, he's looking for 2 million down, 3 million financing, 10 to 15 year terms, 6.5%. I think at these terms, if you were to offer some type of terms like this, it'll sell. And just kind of update him and just indirectly follow up and just stay in his mind until he's ready to, to sell at a realistic term. I think that's been my strategy, and that's what I'm
That's a
going to.
good That's a great strategy. I think that's a great strategy for everyone on the call too. For this particular seller, that's what the only reason why I stuck with him is because I could see getting this deal done in the horizon, and I could see him invest. Like also, he's going to invest in He's already investing in a lot of my deals. So it's someone that I like. That's the only reason why I really stuck with him. If it was someone else, my time is too valuable. So to answer, I would agree with you and not take it.